Bonjour, je suis Héloïse de la formation d'Ashtanga Moksha à Rennes et aujourd'hui j'ai le plaisir de rencontrer Chuck Miller, une figure incontournable de l'Ashtanga Yoga. Pratiquant depuis les années 70 et élève de Sri Pattabhi Jois, Chuck est reconnu à travers le monde pour son enseignement profondément ancré dans la tradition, mais aussi pour son approche réfléchie et accessible du yoga. À travers des décennies de pratique et d'enseignement, il a développé une vision du yoga qui dépasse la simple performance physique, mettant l'accent sur la conscience, l'alignement et la connexion à soi. What seems the most accessible to you in Ashtanga Yoga?
Wow, interesting question. Accessible, easy to reach. Okay, so when I first started Ashtanga Yoga, the thing that impressed me was I had a method that was designed and choreographed in advance, and I didn't have to think about creating a sequence for myself. Prior to that, I'd been working with Light on Yoga. In the back of the book, there's a complicated practice program that you can do. Changes week by week, and it was quite complicated, and it was slow for me. And when I got to Ashtanga Yoga, I felt like I had something that I could get my hands on, like a ladder that I could climb. You know, it's like you learn Surya Namaskar, you learn the standing poses, you learn the primary series and the finishing postures, and you have this thing that you use for yourself on your own, anywhere. You don't need a class. So I think that's maybe accessible.
Yeah, thank you. What seems the most difficult to you?
The fact that it's a set sequence and it's set in advance for us, that we have a tendency as students to push ourselves through the sequence, and we can think it's too important to be able to do the postures, and it puts a pressure on students, I think, that it's not always a good thing. So making the change away from feeling that we need to accomplish the practice and to use the practice as a tool for observation, I think, is a difficulty in Ashtanga Yoga.
It is possible to explain what yoga is according to you?
Yeah, I like the idea that yoga is a tool for observation that leads us to a greater and more subtle understanding of who we are, to know yourself deeper, and how that affects us in our life and in the world. So I think that knowing yourself, to be true to yourself.
In 3 words, what is yoga for you?
Self-knowledge.
What event ultimately led you to yoga?
Many things that were leading me to yoga before I knew it was leading me to yoga. The obvious thing that led me to yoga was attending an introductory lecture about transcendental meditation in 1971. Then I began a meditation practice on my own, and then I got interested and I found other books that took me to pranayama and philosophy, and then eventually asana practice as well. So that's the obvious thing that led me to yoga. But the more I think about it, and as time goes on, I realized that even as a child, there was little things that happened in my life that contributed ultimately to me being interested in yoga.
What has been your biggest revelation through yoga?
My biggest realization? The ability to change, I think. You know, the things that we don't believe that we can change. It's something as basic as in an asana practice. The first time I met Pattabhi Jois, he made me watch the class, and I was positive there was 3 or 4 or 5 of the practices that I thought I would never do. And surprise, there I am a couple weeks later, and I'm beginning to be able to do them. So that ability to change ourselves, I think, is really a huge thing.
What was your reaction to the allegation of sexual abuse against Guruji?
It was not a surprise. I was aware of it before there was a big response to it. we had our Me Too movement, Maty and I, probably back in 1993, but I'd seen indications of this from the beginning, and I didn't understand it. I'm not proud of my reaction in the beginning, that it's kind of overlooked. I think it's a deep discussion to dig into, but it was really some people who were brave enough to step up and speak out about it. What we did basically was just pulled away, and we stopped inviting him to come to YogaWorks after he was with us in 1993. I'm not sure when these allegations came out, but this was not a new thing. This was going on for a long time before that, actually.
Who are the people or experiences that influence you the most as a yoga teacher?
I feel really fortunate to have had a lot of teachers, many, I don't know if you want names. I also feel that I had a period of time where I didn't have any teachers. It was really how I started. I was by myself. And I didn't know this at the time, but as I look back on it now, I think that period of time, 8 or 9 years of practicing all by myself without any teachers in the physical flesh, really gave me, through my passion for practice, more than the idea of discipline, the ability to show up on the mat and to do the practice and to face it. So that was actually a huge factor. But then the good fortune to be able to have some great teachers from around the world. I'm not sure you want particular names.
Why not?
Why not? Donna Holland lives in Lagodi Garden area, Soyana Dongarda. I'm not sure if she's still teaching, but she had a huge influence on us and me and many of the teachers that taught at our school. She was influential for a lot of the other teachers that we brought, people like John Schumacher, Ramana Patel, Gabriela Jubilaro, Judith Lassiter.
Could you say a few words about Maty Ezraty and how her teaching continues today?
She was very focused on quality, very high standards. I think she had been trained as a ballerina, and she had some very good teachers. She had teachers that corrected her. She always made this comment, not just having teachers that tell you you're great and take your money, but people who actually are interested in seeing you improve. And I think she brought that into her yoga teaching. She had a thing that she would say many times was, she would ask teachers that she trained, do you want to be a popular teacher or a good teacher? So it's a choice that you make. And so she was really pushing people to be good teachers, even though, of course, it was in her best interest as running our business that we had popular teachers as well. And, of course, it's also nice when somebody's both popular and good. So I think that she was a bit of a perfectionist, hard on herself, but that produced a good result in the people that she trained and the school that she created.